Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Monday night, and you know what that means. It's time for the Raw Event Center, and here's the man that could give you the Raw report of what happened on Monday nights, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1145, and we're going to be... throughout the show, we're going to talk to you about what's going on Monday Night Raw right now. I'm going to try to do something different. Hopefully, it will be good. So, it's going down, so sit back, relax, and I'll tell you what's been going on. So, I'll tell you all the craziness that's been happening. Right now, I think they're paying a tribute to the legendary Martin Luther King Jr. So, the man with a dream. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. All right, here's what's happening. Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal arrived at the arena in Little Rock, Arkansas for their title match tonight. Seth Rollins arrived with his lovely little daughter, and Cody Rhodes kicked off Monday Night Raw and talking about the Royal Rumble, how he's going to complete the story. Then Drew McIntyre interrupted him, said, "Hey, you got to have a killer instinct, you got to have that." And Cody Rhodes kind of objected to that, said, "Hey, listen. The reason why I'm smiling and all that, because I'm thankful. You have a problem with that?" And then Drew McIntyre's like, "Well, I'm in your way. You're in my way." So it looks like the former tag team partners of the Dashing Ones are may end up having a little conflict. Then R-Truth been selling T-shirts of himself with the Judgment Day and all that. Damian Priest confronts him, "Hey, dude, crew's not happy with it." And then all of a sudden, R-Truth slaps some money in his hands. Says, "You get your cut. The crew's getting the cut." He said, "Just don't tag in, the crew's not happy," and all that. So, but now JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio arrive for their match against DIY. We'll see what happens. I'll give you the results right after this. All right, I forgot to tell you what the heck is going on here. Right now, DIY, that's a team of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, going up against the Judgment Days, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. The match is back in progress, and I will get back to you to see who would win the match. Well, it seems like Judgment Day is getting, let's just say, resorting to skullduggery to try to keep DIY from making the tag and trying to win this matchup. So, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio, two troublemakers from the Judgment Day. All right, that tag match between DIY and Judgment Day ended with DIY picking up the victory over McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. Here's another situation we have here. It looks like The Way, they should be known as The Way, but you can call them the female version of DIY. That'd be Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell telling Alan Pierce they're ready for 2024. And oh my goodness, I can't believe they did that. But then Chelsea Green and Piper Niven interrupted them, and Adam Pierce was saying, "Hey, listen, Eddie Orengo, because Chelsea Green does her complaining. Eddie Orengo is the referee. Respect him. Hey, listen, you guys had your rematch and you blew it. Here's what we do. We're gonna have a tag team matchup opportunity tonight, and they both teams accepted. So it will be right now. It'll be right now. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae going in a tag match against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. We'll see how that plays out when we come back. All right, the tag team of Indy Hartwell faced the team of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, the former women's tag team champions. That match was going on, and the new champs, Kaden Conner and Katana Chance, were watching, and Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae did pick up the victory in a good matchup. And now Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser are heading to the ring. Gunther is back after a 2-week absence, and Gunther is now a dad. So congratulations to the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. I say if he spends more time with that kid, he'll be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Make it 700 days for the man. I don't care. But anyways, well, it's good to see Gunther back, to see what Gunther has planned, or he could enlighten us of who he wants to face next for his Intercontinental Championship. And a lot of people probably want to take that prestigious title away from the ring general. Who will be the guy? Who would be the man to step up to Gunther and try to end his long record-breaking reign of being the Intercontinental Champion? Are we going to see that person fight him at the Royal Rumble? Who knows? We'll see what goes on through Gunther's mind when we come back. Well, it seems like the Judgment Day's got a little bit of problems, issues to deal with R-Truth, as the Awesome Truth goes up against Balor and Priest in a non-title matchup, and Priest shows him off the money while Rhea Ripley sees the Nia Jax vignette and says, "I got to address the women's division once again." And now, Ludwig Kaiser introduces Gunther. Gunther came in and he says, he's going to win the Royal Rumble and go to WrestleMania. And he is the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, but he addressed Ludwig Kaiser on the situation that he was running with Kofi Kingston. He said he loved it, gave him a hug, and then Xavier Woods came out, basically challenged Kaiser to a matchup. Kaiser says, "Let's go," basically, and both men went at it before a referee had intervened in the said, "Hey, there's going to be a match going on." So there will be a matchup coming up next, I believe. Xavier Woods versus Ludwig Kaiser. So I'll see what happens after that match. So check it out. Well, it is the match has happened. Ludwig Kaiser going one-on-one with Xavier Woods of the New Day. And it seems to me that Ludwig Kaiser is getting dominant in that matchup. We don't. The match is still going on, and Gunther. There's going to be a very interesting situation with Gunther. So it'll be very interesting to see if Xavier Woods does pick up the victory over Ludwig Kaiser. Will that put him in an Intercontinental title situation with Gunther? Who knows for sure? But we don't know. So and I'm enjoying some hot chocolate. Nice time for they're drinking on a nice cold winter's day. It's going to be a little bit of snow tomorrow. A little bit of snow. But according to what the weather.com says, it will change over to rain. So, and the high is going to be 40. So I think that could be the case. So but we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens if I have to stay longer at work. I do have I am going to have the Trebek Tuesday episode lined up for you, and that'll be scheduled for tomorrow, just in case if I don't. That way, I want to be smart. Okay, so we'll get back to the matchup, and I'll tell you who won the matchup and what's happening next. We know it's the main event, World Heavyweight Title on the line. Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal. We still got Awesome Truth reunited to go up against the Judgment Day's Undisputed Tag Team Champs, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. We'll see what happens in that situation. So we'll see what happens, and I'll be back to you guys. Well, that match happened and ended up Ludwig Kaiser winning by disqualification because the chair that Kaiser tried to use against Kofi, Xavier used that same chair against Kaiser, and then both men brawled. Xavier Woods was looking like Blanca from Street Fighter the movie, and basically went ballistic, and Ludwig Kaiser escaped with that disqualification win. But Big Bronson Reed said that there's somebody in here holding a championship, and says sooner or later it'll belong to Big Bronson Reed. Who is he addressing, Gunther or Seth freaking Rollins? We'll probably get our answer before you know it. If it's Gunther, sign me up for that matchup. Big meaty men slapping meat. But if it's Seth freaking Rollins or Jinder Mahal, watch your backs, boys. That's all I gotta say. So we'll see what happens when we come back and see what goes on next. Well, Byron Saxton tried to get an attempted interview with Xavier Woods, but Ludwig Kaiser continued to his attack on Woods until Jey Uso stepped in to intervene on Woods' behalf. Would Jey Uso think about getting a chance at the Intercontinental title? Interesting situation will be happening. Oh, he's going to get Ludwig Kaiser first, so we'll see what happens in that situation. Plus, Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree head to the ring, and it seems like Akira Tozawa's going one-on-one with Ivar. Is Akira Tozawa crazy? We'll find out when that match happens. Okay, what happened next afterwards? Well, Akira Tozawa went one-on-one with Ivar. Akira Tozawa picked up the victory after Maxine Dupree did a little distraction. But Valhalla was not very happy after the match. She knocked out Dupree and basically Ivar hit the Doomsault on Tozawa anyways. Then you talk about McIntyre wanting to win the Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes wanting to win the Royal Rumble, but it seems like CM Punk wants to confront Cody Rhodes. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. And Rhea Ripley is heading out to the ring to address the women's division, especially Nia Jax. Let's see what happens in that situation. So we'll be right back, and we'll see what happens here. All right, after that brutal attack on Maxine Dupree and Hikaru Tozawa, Alpha Academy was consoling both Dupree and Tozawa, and then Ivy Nile says, "That's it, enough. I'm going to talk to Adam Pearce. Valhalla's going to pay for this," and the Creed brothers went with her to do that. But while Chad Gable says, "I'm really proud of you. You're close to graduating, but I'm going to have to teach Ivar a lesson." So it looks like Ivy Nile will try to teach Valhalla a lesson, and Chad Gable will try to teach Ivar a lesson. Rhea Ripley came out and to address the women's division says, no one's everybody thinks they're dominant me, but if you don't want to waste your opportunity, choose me. If you want to waste it, pick someone else. But, however, as Rhea Ripley was talking, Becky Lynch came out to interrupt, and Becky Lynch says, "Listen, the two of us, we have some things in common. We're different than there's some things that are different, but I need to, And then Becky Lynch thinks that I think you might be better than me, and then she goes, but I need to prove that you're not, and in order to that, it's going to take your title. But in order to take your title, I got to win the Royal Rumble and face you at WrestleMania. And so Rhea Ripley says, "You know what? I want you to win the Royal Rumble. I'll see you at WrestleMania." So Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, sign me up for that matchup. So Jackie Redmond interviews Seth Rollins as he talks about why this Jinder Mahal is a little different than the Jinder Mahal that he first faced to become the first ever NXT champion. So he's looking forward to that matchup. So, and right now The Miz comes out as him and R-Truth, who basically is scrambled, he's got a little scatterbrained a bit, will go up against the Undisputed Tag Team Champions Damian Priest and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day in a non-title match in this tag team matchup. So we shall see what happens afterwards in this situation. So I will tell you, and we're almost to the main event. See you around. All right, the non-title tag team matchup on the way. The Awesome Truth. I don't know what the heck is going on. And freaking R-Truth's been handing out money to Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. And JD McDonough says, "Where's my cut? You have to be a member of the Judgment Day." And R-Truth decided to start the match. She was told not to tag in. They didn't mention anything about starting the match. So this is getting crazy. I'm like, all right, Miz has no clue what's happening. It's nuts. I'm telling you, it's totally crazy, man. It's totally nuts. I'll tell you the conclusion of this matchup when we get the chance. It's just totally insanely cracky wacky out there. Especially you got R-Truth, which is hilarious even in itself. So we'll see when I get back. Well, that matchup ended not very well for Awesome Truth, as Balor and Priest did pick up the victory, and then Jackie Redmond was interviewing a meditating Jinder Mahal. He seems like he's preparing himself. He says a 7-year drought. He's hoping that the 7-year drought will be over. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Next up will be a women's tag team action, as Shayna Baszler teams up with Zoe Stark up against Natalya and Tegan Nox. Very interesting dynamic with these teams. So we'll find out what happens. And I believe the main event will be up next. After this match with the World Heavyweight title on the line, Seth freaking Rollins defends it against Jinder Mahal. So until then, I will be right back. Alrighty then, we're down to the wire here. Earlier today, the women's tag team champions, Kane Carter and Katana Chance, told Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, after we get done with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn Friday night, you guys can come after us. But then Natalya and Tegan Nox says, "Hey, we heard what you said. How about you taking us on tonight?" And that match happened. And just to let you know, Shinsuke Nakamura did declare entry into the Royal Rumble matchup. And Natalya Tegan Knox and went up against Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler. And Baszler and Stark did pick up the victory by submission. Match is happening next week. I mentioned Ivar versus Chad Gable one-on-one. You got Ivy Nile, that match, and Valhalla. That match is happening. Also, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre are going to lock up one-on-one. That's going to be next week, final Monday Night Raw before the Royal Rumble. And a face-to-face between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. This is a can't-miss episode for next week, that's for sure. Ready for the main event as Jinder Mahal was heading to the ring. He's got Indus Sher with him. Seth Rollins better got somebody to watch his back. So, until then, the main event is almost here. All right, it seems like Jinder Mahal is trying to gain the upper hand with Indus Sher in his corner. But to make matters worse for Seth Rollins, Damian Priest arrived with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Is he going to cash it in on Rollins before the Royal Rumble, a week from this Saturday? Interesting situations, to say the least. We'll see how Seth Rollins handles this when I get back. To conclude this video, a lot of craziness went down. While the match was going on, Damian Priest arrived with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and as both Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins were down, Damian Priest rose up from his chair while he was watching the matchup, thinking about cashing in. But Drew McIntyre came back at ringside, confronts Priest. Those two went at it while the referees distracted, and Indus Sher got involved in this matchup. They tried everything they can, using the briefcase, the chair, and everything else. But to no avail, Seth Rollins, with the curb stomp, ends up picking up the victory and retains the heavyweight title against Jinder Mahal. And that's what ends here for Monday Night Raw. So, that's all the time we have on the show, episode 1145 of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. We got tomorrow, we got Trebek Tuesday tomorrow, and also then NXT. We'll see what happens there. All right, until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.